a very, very wonderful, lovely lady. She holds a bachelor's with honors in pharmacology from the University of Aberdeen. I hope I pronounced that right. An MBA in business administration from the University of Leicester, and is a certified integrative nutrition health coach. Of course, all that besides being an international speaker and an entrepreneur. Now, she started her career as a biomedical researcher, and then she went right on into integrative nutrition and health coaching. She currently empowers men and women globally to take control of their health and enables breakthroughs through her programs, her workshops, her blogging, and her classes. Now, Ms. Kiru is an integrative nutrition health coach. She looks at all aspects of a person's health, both physical and mental, including nutrition, wellness, career, relationship, and she helps them transform their lives. All her approaches are through science-based tools, including unique fasting methods, gut repair, and she's also engaged in diet plans, which has helped many of our clients to reset their health, lose weight, and achieve their fitness goals. Her approaches have led her to work with multiple corporates, top CEOs, housewives, and so many others worldwide. Well, friends, we are excited to have her with us. Please help me welcome on your screens right now our global health coach to kick off our health and wellness webinar this evening, Ms. Kiru Kishokumar.
Hi, Errol. Thank you.
Hi, Kiru. It's so amazing to see you. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. I'm going to just go straight into it and let you take over with our audience. All the best.
Thank you. So good evening, everyone. And I am super excited to be here today with you guys. And also, I just wanted to start by congratulating all of you who are here today, because, you know, health means the choices that we make. So basically, the fact that you are here today shows that you have taken the first step in choosing health. So I'm super excited to be with you today. And I want to start by reminding you that you have an inner power that's really going to help you prevent this coronavirus. So now that's promising, isn't it? Now we all are going through this pandemic, and we've been going through for the past few months. I know it's no joke at all. You know, although you're doing all these physical precautions, whether wearing the mask or you're actually wearing the gloves and maintaining social distancing, all these are good. But there's something else that we could do to literally strengthen this inner power that we have in order to prevent this infection coming and affecting us. So for the next few minutes, I wanted to bring you the science and the steps that you can follow. So if you're someone sitting there and in fear, or if you're not sure what exactly you should be doing to have stay healthy and prevent this, go and grab a piece of paper and pen and start writing down these steps that I'm about to share with you, because these are the steps that you can literally bring into practice immediately and at no cost to you, of course, wherever you are in this world. And also you can do it with your family and strengthen your immune system so that you can prevent falling ill. So before I jump in, Errol, I've got a poll question, and if I could get your help to put this out, please.
Absolutely. I'm right here. Let's jump into it, and let's roll that poll on the screen, Ash. The question is, can poor diets and habits make one more vulnerable to a coronavirus infection? It's a very, very simple question with a yes and no answer, and we want to see each and every one of you share with us, what do you think? I mean, it's a no-brainer here, but we just want to know what you think. Can poor diets and habits make one more vulnerable to a coronavirus infection? Brilliant. I can see a lot of you have begun to vote. You're getting the feel of this. This is excellent. Reach out for your keypads, punch in your recommendation. Is it a yes or a no? Whatever you think is right, and click the submit button. That's all you need to do, and we will be able to share that result with Ms. Kiru in a couple of moments. And just about now, wonderful. We can see everybody is punching those results in. Brilliant. Let's shut the poll and share that result. Brilliant. So of course, 100%, Ms. Kiru, I'm sure you expected this as an answer. We've got a very brilliant audience with us. 100% agree that poor diets and habits can make one more vulnerable to a coronavirus infection. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. So basically, we have an incredible immune system that is functioning throughout our life, day and night, in order to prevent and protect us from these viruses and bacteria. So all what we have to do right now is to try and do all things that you can in order to strengthen this immune system. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually give you a very basic understanding of the immune system. As we all know, immune system is really complex. I'm not going to go into great detail. And also, I'm going to show you some of the habits that you may have, which may be suppressing your immune system. And later on, it's going to go on to the must-dos, the steps that you can follow, as I said before, in order to strengthen your immune system. So, we were born with miraculous healing powers, and our body has its own intelligence to protect itself. For example, those who had gone through pregnancy would know this. When you have a fetus in your womb, you don't need to give instruction to the fetus how to grow, and you don't need to give instruction for your body how to protect, isn't it? So the same way, let's say you have a cut in your hand. Your body has its own intelligence to clot that blood and stop that bleeding. So the same way, when there is an invader coming into your system, in this case, let's say virus, coronavirus, right? Your body has its own intelligence to literally orchestrate all those immune cells and immune organs in such a way that they can chase those viruses and destroy them. So this is something basic. And what's happening here is we get fever, right? So fever is a way when your body raises its body heat temperature in order to destroy this virus. But what we tend to think like we look at fever as a nuisance and we want to get rid of this fast, right? So the whole point, what I wanted to bring here is we got to honor our body's natural protecting methods, and we got to be aware what's literally happening inside us and encourage and do all means to strengthen this process so that we can protect ourselves, because we all know there's no vaccines coming our way yet. So what is next? We got to make sure that you're strengthening your natural powers. So let me just go through the immune system. So this is the basic way of explaining. So when you have an invader, whether it's a bacteria or virus, your brain gets a message saying, hey, we've got a foreigner here. And your brain then sends a message to all the immune organs to orchestrate an army. So your immune system is like a defense ministry, and then all your immune cells like the T cells, B cells, lymphocytes, cytokines, all these guys are your army. So what they do is when they are orchestrated, they are going to go and engulf these foreigners and destroy them. So this is something, the basic explanation I'm just giving you. And for this process, what you need is the two important guys are your brain and your nervous system. And because these are the guys who are going to sense these foreigners as soon as they enter. So this is why I really don't want you to be in stress, because when you are in stress or panic or in fear, what's going to happen is your brain does not detect this as something, as a stress. Like, it doesn't look at it, oh, she's worried, or he or she is worried about something that's going to happen in future. How it looks at, it's going to actually think there is a threat let's say it looks at it as if there is an animal, wild animal, a tiger chasing you. So it goes into a fight or flight mode. So in that state, all what it's focusing is to protect you from this threat. Now, at this time, when you have a virus coming into your system and there's a message going to your brain and saying, hey, we need to get this guy to get rid of this guy, your brain is going to say, uh-oh, no, I've got something very important here. There is a tiger chasing me. I got to attend to that first. Now, this is why we got to make sure that we are not going into a stress mode, because stress is going to suppress your immune system. Now, there was a study done in Britain in elderly people who were also depressed. They found that they had reduced number of lymphocytes and T cells, which are really important to prevent disease. And I'm going to be sharing all these links of these research studies towards the latter part of this talk. So if you want, you can go ahead and read on these things as well. So secondly, the habit that's going to suppress your immune system is sugar. Now, when I say sugar, I'm not only talking about the sugar that you add in your tea or coffee, the sugar that is hidden in all our food intake, the processed food, the carbonated drinks, the morning cereals, and all your sweet delights, and even the food, the fruit juice for that fact. All of these have hidden sugar. Now, according to studies, it is said when you have sugar, it's going to increase your blood glycemic level, and it's also going to suppress your immune system at least by 40%. And what's going to happen is this state is going to last for 4 to 5 hours. So imagine if you're someone who is eating this kind of food on a regular basis, and your immune system is going to be suppressed. And if you're having some sort of infection, this is really not going to be doing any help to you. So the second point would be try and keep away from sugar. And there was a study also saying a transient hike of sugar. So for example, when you eat any of these sugar-rich food, a transient hike could literally reduce the number of neutrophils, which are really important for innate immune system. So, so be aware of this and try to avoid sugar at least for the next couple of weeks to come out of this. And my third point that may suppress your immune system is your sleep pattern. So if you're not going to have enough sleep, this is actually going to reduce the cytokines and also the number of T cells, which are literally the guys who will help you to fight against any virus and pathogens. I will talk about the sleep a little more when I talk about the do's. So so what do we need to do now? So now that I have told you what are the things that are suppressing your immune system, all what we need to do is to become a bad host. Now, what I mean by bad host is you got to ensure that you're doing all things to make this body and your system not a suitable environment for the virus to survive. So that's what I mean by bad host. So what do you do first? Get out in the sun. Now, studies say when you are exposed to sun, you're going to energize your T cells. Now, as I said before, T cells are the guys which you need to fight against any pathogens. So when you're exposed to sun, you're going to energize your T cells. And as we all know, when we are exposed to sun, your body is going to be able to synthesize vitamin D, and vitamin D is going to help you protect any respiratory infections and any sort of viral infection as well. So now there were studies done to show this as well. And so what I did this weekend, I just kept away all my work and I went into sun for about 10 to 15 minutes run. simply because I wanted to energize my T cells. So do consider exposing yourself into sun, and the best time would be to synthesize some vitamin D would be 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. So do try and get maximize this period as well. And secondly, do some movements. So now when I say have some physical exercise or physical movements, I'm not actually asking you to go and run a marathon or work out really vigorously, because we all know the gym facilities are closed, and it's not the same lifestyle many of us are having right now, which we used to. So, and there are high chances of we not doing those kind of physical activities that we were doing before coronavirus, because many of you will be working from home, so you are either seated in front of the computer or hooked up to the TV, and I do understand it is a little bit tricky to get that motivation to go out and do workouts. So what I'm encouraging you, it doesn't have to be literally a workout. Go for a walk in your neighborhood for 10 minutes. Now the parks are open, just go out and spend some time if that's something you feel comfortable. Or if you're at home, go into dancing, yoga, or even there are enough of HIIT training program, online program, which are free. Get onto one of those. And if you have garden space, do some gardening. Now that's also considered as movement. All what I'm asking is to move your body a little bit. Again, there are enough studies proving the benefits. And again, studies say when you have physical movement, it reduces your chances of getting infection, and also it goes on to say that it prevents cancer. So if you care for elderly people and if you have elderly around you, I strongly advise you to encourage them to do some physical movements. Now my parents are in their early 70s, and I've been encouraging them to do a little bit of walk around the house just to keep them, you know, physically active, so that they can also strengthen their immune system in some way. And third point would be take care of your gut. Now we got trillions of bacteria living with us, and these guys are there not only to digest our food, but also they are the first line defense system. And about 80 to 90% of our immune system comes from our gut. So it is really vital you got some good bacteria with you. So one of the ways that you could do is, actually it's three things that you could do. One, go into prebiotic food, probiotic foods, and polyphenols. Prebiotic food are the food which are rich in fiber, all the greens and veggies, they are the ones rich in prebiotic. And then probiotic are the fermented food. Kimchi, sauerkraut, kefir, and even fermented pickles are going to do some good to you. And then polyphenols are grapes, berries, and cacao. A good quality cacao has polyphenols. Now, I wanted to talk a little bit on this kimchi, because kimchi is a Korean fermented food, and it's actually a fermented cabbage with some spices. And you know, there was in 2003 there was SARS pandemic. So this SARS pandemic was actually affecting many countries around the world, including China, Korea, and even Hong Kong. So when the studies found that compared to all other countries, kimchi, like Korea, had less infection. And when they found out, it was because Koreans were eating kimchi. Now, kimchi, as I said before, it's when you ferment, they found so many bacteria in this food, and one of the main strand was Lactobacillus plantarum, and along with this bacteria and the metabolites coming out from the sub ingredients like the green onions and ginger had shown to inhibit the growth of influenza virus. So now that's one of the main reason I'm encouraging you to consider having fermented food at least 1 cup daily. So that's what we are doing these days. From the time the lockdown started, we are literally having some sort of fermented food every day, so that you can strengthen your gut bacteria. And then let's talk about fasting. Now, some of you may be a regular fast person who is into fasting, and some of you may not. So fasting literally helps in two ways. They prevent viral infection and they also prevent bacterial infection. Now, studies says fasting for about 15 to 17 hours, either the intermittent fasting or autophagy fasting, helps our body to prevent viral infection. So if you are fasting for more than 24 hours, the longer fast is going to help you with bacterial infection. So this is not the time for longer fast. You should be doing intermittent fasting more frequently so that you can actually help your body to prevent viral infection. Lastly, sleeping. So as I mentioned before, like when you sleep, you are going to reduce your hormones which are making you stress. And when this happens, when these hormones are reducing, the helper T cells stickiness is going to be increasing. Now, this is very important because this is how your T cells go and get glued to this virus to destroy. So this is one of the reason I really stress a lot on sleeping, because you got to have at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep. If not, even though you're doing all other things that I just mentioned, and if you're not getting enough sleep, remember you're not going to bring those stress hormone down, and it's not going to be able to help you with your immune system. So guys, I hope you found these things useful, and I'm actually going to be rolling a free program on the 7th of June to 20th of June. It's 14-day immune reboot. And basically what I'm doing is some of the things that I mentioned now, including those, I'm going to be giving you a task per day, and you're going to learn more about your immune system, your body, and also you're going to literally be in a group of people with the same mindset, running towards the same goal. And I will also help you with some recipes, and give you some shopping list, so you are not going to be wondering what you should be eating. Everything is going to be given to you, and it's a step-by-step guidance. So feel free to check out my website, and also if at all you're interested in making your own fermented food, in my website I've got the recipes and the videos, so check those out and start taking some actions. I hope you enjoyed, and thank you so much. Errol, that's over to you.
Kiru, I'm so happy. Thank you so much for coming in and sharing all that information with us. I'm sure all our attendees have learned so much about gut health, about fasting. I mean, I need to get, to get practicing with what you shared with us. Thank you so much. That was so interesting. And hopefully, maybe I will also get a part of this 14-day program that you're going to be running.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Kiru. I'm
Thank you
going to
so
be
much.
there. That's a promise.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Kiru. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was Kiru Kishokumar, and Kiru has kindly shared with us a lot of ideas. If you have any questions, you can start typing them in right now. And if there's anything that has not been covered by Kiru, she'll be more than happy to answer that for you at the end of our webinar when we bring in the panel discussion.